Hey there and welcome back. Welcome to episode 1 of my Stress Diaries series. I did 30 days of journaling throughout December. And here's how that went. Let's just jump into my little updates that I filmed. Welcome to day 1 of journaling. I have kind of already started a little bit the past couple of days because I found an app that I wanted to try out, and they were incorporating a little bit of journaling in the mornings and evenings. And so I've really just been doing this already for a couple of days now, to be honest, but I do want to incorporate more of writing down my feelings and more about the day rather than just a few of the things that I have been writing down. So for example, in the mornings, I already journaled a little bit this morning. In the mornings, it asks which good things are on their way, which things am I looking forward to today. So I'd write down like 3 points of things that I'm looking forward to throughout the day, whether that's like looking forward to my dessert, or looking forward to seeing a friend, looking forward to having a clean room, or whatever. It could be the smallest thing. And just writing 3 things that I'm looking forward to for that day down. The second thing is writing down priorities. Which one thing or multiple things am I most excited to get done today? Something, as the app would say, would make me want to like fist punch the air just out of excitement of being excited that it's done. And then the final things in the mornings that I would write down is inner drive. So what 3 things do I want? What kind of person do I want to be today? Do I want to be caring, peaceful, proud, determined, strong, whatever it is that I need today to get through today? I would write down 3 things of the kind of person that I want to be for the day. Also from the app, they have 3 points for the evening that you would journal about. The first being my contribution. What good thing did I do today? Whether that was smiling at someone on the street, saying thank you, being kind, what good thing did I put out into the world that day, whatever it is. The second point is what new things did I learn or realize that day? Maybe it's something that you heard or learned in a podcast, or maybe it's an aha moment that came to you at some point throughout the day. And the final thing for the evenings is writing at least 3 things down that you're grateful for. That's common practice, I think, for most journaling or just gratitude lists, is thinking about things that you are thankful for today, because it leads you to a happier life. I'm actually just gonna get down to journaling a little bit for this evening. I'm gonna start with those 3 aspects that I normally get from the app, and then I'm going to expand it by writing more down about my actual experience of today and things that I'm feeling, things I might be bottling up that I just need to get out and get on paper. So I've just finished my evening journaling session, and it feels good to just kind of get everything that's in my head on paper. I think my biggest issue is I have a lot of thoughts throughout the day. A lot of that is just from anxiety, a lot of that's from stress, and I think there are multiple ways that I deal with that. One is just through communicating that with a friend, talking through it with Misha, but another way is to just get it out of my head and on paper. I think that this will hopefully be a helpful routine. Something that I notice that keeps me from continuously journaling is I always think it's going to take so much time, and truly I think I only took about 10 minutes and I filled out more than a sheet of paper. So I got enough down to where I feel like everything that's in my head is out and but it's not like too detailed. So I think I found a good balance of that, but we'll see how it goes. I want to continue journaling in the mornings to get any thoughts from sleeping out and onto paper, and staying with these points from this app, which I will be canceling at some point, but I am glad that I have these points to at least have a starting base of. So I'll see you in the next update. Welcome to day 4. I have just journaled for the evening. It wasn't very long. Here are my thoughts for the past couple of days. I have consistently been journaling, but not as I had originally planned or the way that I have been the past week. I decided I don't want to continue doing those like points from that app, except for a gratitude list, because some of the questions are difficult to answer, or I find most of my answers being the same every day. One of the questions is my contribution. What good thing did I put out into the world today? And I cannot rack my brain to come up with an answer for that one every time. And so I have just decided to nix those questions, but continue the gratitude list and just continue my flowing thoughts on paper. I think that I will come to realizations through journaling, because I think that's how I process my feelings best, is when I talk it out or just process it verbally. So I think writing it down is a good way to process certain things and maybe come up with some kind of an answer. I do find myself not wanting to continue journaling. Last night I know was a struggle because it was really late and I really just wanted to go to bed. But the thing is, when you're implementing a new habit, you have to make it one of those things that you do anyways. Like, no matter how tired I am, I will always, or mostly, brush my teeth before going to bed, or putting pajamas on to go into bed. I wouldn't sleep in my jeans or whatever. I want to consider journaling as just one of those things that I do before I go to bed. And it doesn't have to take me a very long time. I think most of my journaling sessions haven't been longer than like 10 minutes, and that's fairly doable. So most of it is just I have to get out of my head, I have to stop being on my phone and take the time to put my thoughts on paper. Typically I feel better after doing it, so I hope this continues and we'll see. Maybe I might switch up the times in which I journal. I don't know. Today is day 7. Day 6 was a fail. I was gone all evening and I got home really late, so then when I got home I just really needed to go to bed because I knew how to wake up early, and I did exactly that, which I wanted to avoid doing, which is not implementing journaling as part of a nighttime routine or habit. But you know, things happen, but I don't want to let it happen again. But I'm making sure that I'm taking the time tonight to sit down and do it. A little journal update. This would be, so I'm filming this on day 11, but this is technically my thoughts from last night. I was journaling last night, and I think for the most part I've just kind of been detailing some things about my day, things that happened, what we did, stuff like that. But last night I kind of had an epiphany of, not really epiphany at all, but there was something that occurred yesterday that I kind of felt emotional about, and so I wanted to journal about it, and it also led to conversation, which I thought was really good. But it led to conversation before I even wrote it down, but I thought it was still important to write it down to validate feelings and just get them out of my system. So it's on paper and it's also has been spoken out. So that's something I hope to continue doing, is to really just journaling those feelings, because that's really what my journaling process is all about. It's not about me just kind of explaining what I did that day. And I felt really good about it. I took 2 pages and it was really nice. It's been a while since I've updated. We are on day 29 of journaling, and I am surprised at how well I've kept up with it. It has been fairly easier than I was thinking it was going to be. I have missed a couple of days throughout the month though, for various reasons. One reason was because I had a really bad headache in the evening, and so I wasn't able to journal, or I just didn't want to. which was fine ultimately. Another one was I got into bed really, really late and Misha was in bed. My journal is on my nightstand. He was already asleep. I didn't want to wake him, and I also didn't want to take my journal out into another room to journal because I was also very tired. It was very late, way past my bedtime. I'm sure there have been other reasons, but I can't remember them right now. I don't want to make too many excuses for not doing it, but that's life, baby, and things can happen. But I have noticed that it's something that I'm looking forward to. There are days where when I've had a really, really hard day, I look forward to going home and journaling because it's a way for me to process and get things out and to just feel the size of my emotions for those things. In the middle of the month when things weren't going so great mentally, I found it hard to come up with things to write down for my gratitude list. A lot of things kept repeating themselves, but I thought that was fine because those are things that did make me happy that day, so I can be grateful for them every day, whenever. But now it's starting to get a little bit easier to find things to be grateful for. It helps me look back positively on the day, even if it was a hard day. And man, on those hard days, it is hard to find gratitude, but it is possible. So proud of myself on that one. So to sum it all up, it was a really great month. It's really hard to build habits. This is probably going to be something that I say in pretty much any of the videos that I film for this series, but especially just starting out with this series, it's hard. And there were days where I just didn't want to journal at all. There were days that I forgot, there were days that I didn't do it. Thankfully, those were only the minority, but there were still some days that I missed. But it's okay because we're still learning this whole process. I did find that journaling my feelings, journaling about my day, and even just writing about the mundane things of what I did that day helped me to get everything that may have been stuck in my brain outside and onto paper. And there was even a couple of times where I was looking forward to getting home and journaling about my emotions because I felt like dealing with it by myself was too much and too hard. So I was looking forward to getting it onto paper and processing it that way. Now, the big question, am I continuing to journal? And the answer is yes. I have been journaling even now through January. And it's something that I do want to stick to because I find that it does help me in the long run. And especially after a hard day. There are days where when nothing really big happens, nothing emotionally difficult happens, that I journal very little. So I think that there are some days that I've skipped just because I'm like, well, there's really nothing to do. But I have been continuing the gratitude list, which has been really helpful because even on days where nothing really happens, I still have to force myself to think about the positive things that I experienced that day, which is a really, really good practice, I think. So I want to continue doing that. So I hope to continue journaling throughout the rest of this year and hoping that it will help me process my emotions and feelings in the coming months and ultimately lead to less stress. Thank you for joining me on my journey, and if you have any journaling tips of how you journal and whatever it is that you do, let me know, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.